Okay. Will animals be allowed into your venue? Pugs, etc. No. Unless they're guide dogs. The trouble with pugs, I mean, we all saw that thing recently. This is a really random question, but since you brought it up, pugs generally are a breed of dog that live a lot of their life in pain. I wouldn't advise buying one of those, so no, I'm not going to encourage it by letting them in the arcade. Where will you be putting the jacuzzi you get from this crowdfunding venture? In my office. What goals do you have in the new hog that you couldn't accomplish in the old hog? Foot traffic mainly. It mainly boils down to foot traffic, comfort, and facilities. We do need to. The first hog was more functional in that it basically. Sorry, I'm trying to focus and not look at the text at the same time. There are a lot of facilities that we needed to have at the old hog, but we didn't. Again, internet, foot traffic, local amenities, good travel links, all of that has been sorted. In the hog's new location, there are 2 bus stations, like 3 or 4 train stations. There's all-night buses. The central line runs all the way through the night on weekends. That is completely fixed, and I think that was the biggest. That and the internet were definitely the biggest issue. Both of those have been resolved. Nick Walker. Nick, I have some very bad news on that Fighting Vania machine. God, this is heartbreaking to have to admit publicly, but it broke. It was unrepairable. The motherboard is gone. In the end, basically, all it was good was to be stripped for spares. However, the spares were retained because that was, and thank you for that machine, by the way, Nick Walker sorted us out with a Hokuto no Ken Fighting Mania, the Fist and North Star punching game. It's full intention to get another one back in. I mean, in this day and age, sometimes all that is left for an arcade machine is to be broken down into spare parts. It's tragic, but sometimes it goes beyond monetary value. Sometimes the parts just can't be found. That was the case with Fighting Mania. But you will see that again, I promise you. Another question, but I was just going to say, I've only ever been to Hog once, but I can't wait for the new Hog to open. It was so sad when I found out the old one had closed. That's a really familiar sentiment, and thank you. One of the things that sort of encourages me to keep going is knowing that people care. So yeah, thanks, Matt. Hi Mark, how far in advance can you announce the official opening of the new hog? To be honest with you, I think we'll be able to do that once we get in there at the beginning of March, and our guys sort of start to crack on with all the work and everything. We'll be able to announce the time frame between then. There's no real way to be completely solid about it. It's possible that because they viewed the venue already, that I might be able to sort of chase for some sort of time frame for the work that is needed. When that happens, we'll give you a shout. It will be an estimate. I don't like to promise something if I can't 100% give it. Yeah. Josh Darlington, have you thought about linking up with the arcade club in Bury? Yeah, I've met Andy several times. He's an absolutely stand-up guy. He's the guy that I kind of go to when I need to have a whinge or a moan, and I feel, nobody understands me. And he's like, he's been down the road. He's further down the road at the moment with what he's doing. It's absolutely fabulous. I'm hoping that me and myself and some of the staff can make it up there for a trip at some point. Yeah, he understands. Really, really understands. He's a decent chap, and we've discussed the idea of location sort of based land tournaments, etc. North v South. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to sort of say more than I discussed with him, but you can definitely expect some collaborations in the future. Hi Mark, what are you doing about security? I used to go to Trocadero, so know that the atmosphere can turn bad. Wonder if you'll be pitching the arcade as an old school hardcore experience. Or... Okay, I have been mugged and got punched once in the 90s in the London arcade scene. You know, it was a different time. It was a really different time. People would get away with stuff not knowing that, you know, it would immediately come out online because obviously there was no internet. I don't really want to see that side of gaming, of arcade gaming back again. And for the most part now, it is gone. You know, I think one of the best things about Hog is that in its previous location, no one would ever go to all the effort of travelling to then pay to get in there to then cause trouble. And on top of all of this, you know, we have there a large part of the cost goes to what they call the service charge, and that pays for security. We'll have security around at all times. It's very important to me that, you know, families, young people, etc., don't feel intimidated, that they feel welcome. You know, we do take a bit of a personal sort of oversight of people coming in, you know, etc., and we want everyone to have fun. We don't want to have anybody intimidated. It's a different time, you know. It's some 25 years since the 90s. Times change, and we've changed with them. Shane Galan, any Third Strike tournament coming soon? Nearer the time. It's really too early to ask for any tournaments and to confirm any dates, but we've done Third Strike tournaments before. You know, we're happy to do them again. Jordan Bazookas, how have you been? Will you guys still be offering educational trips? Absolutely. If not just for the fact that it seriously stroked my ego when I told my mum that, you know, people had seen enough of a worth in the Heart of Gaming to actually come down and use it for educational purposes, then simply because, you know, with video gaming becoming as big as it is, compared to sort of obviously 20 years ago now, more people are looking to get into it for different reasons. And when you study anything, whether it's game design, you know, anything at all, you need to understand the heritage of it. And as long as we can represent gaming heritage at the Heart of Gaming, then you can be absolutely sure we will encourage school educational visits. Not just to mention, you know, as I said, a good 100 plus over the years, students came down, you know, to film, to interview our community so that they complete their projects. Any way that people can benefit from Hog, you know, I'm happy for them to do that. See you again, hopefully, yeah? Devil's Beck Gula, you're dominating my time. I'm only joking. Second question, how will overnights be organised, seeing as how it's in a shopping centre? I plan on being surgically attached to Hog. As someone who might as well have been surgically attached to Hog, having lived in the building for the last 3 years, that's not as much fun as it sounds. Naturally, of course, one of the first things that we, you know, that I put to the landlords and the security team were, is there a problem, you know, with us sort of running a 24-hour session every now and again? You know, that's one of the things that we're sort of, you know, we are known for. Security guards, the reply was, yeah, absolutely no problem. Let us know when you want to do it and we'll put an extra member of security on. So I don't really think that's going to be a problem. Richard, how you doing, buddy? You've probably been asked this before, but any idea of the opening date so I can keep it free? Loosely, I'm going to say late April, early May. Loosely. If it's sooner, then it's sooner. If it's later, then it's later. But either way, you know, thanks for the question. Be nice to catch up with you again at some point. Take care. Hope all's well. Richard Leard. Your Mark would like to know, with the expanding space of the new venue, have you looked into new cabinets, or is that something you're not thinking about until after the official opening? My bad if... Sorry, I'm being very... My bad if already asked. Okay. Yes, absolutely, because there are still so many games that, you know, I know would do well that the community are asking for. You know, this isn't a project that ever sees that will ever really realistically see completion. It will always be changing. The market for some games drops. Sometimes the market for other games picks up. You know, I'm very determined to roll with the times. Again, you know, to appease people with the games that they want. So yeah, don't think that really is yet. I'm sure it's not. Okay, Yasser Farid I hope I'm pronouncing everyone's names right, by the way. How are you going to manage with high volumes of people CBA queuing for a few games of 3S? You know, this has always been something that people, particularly when they call me up, they're like, oh, you know, what time's the busiest? And, you know, because I'd rather come at a quieter time so I can get some games. Nobody, for want of a better phrase, hogs the machines or the setups. Everybody, you know, is looking to have a fun time. Everybody is there for the same reason that you are. It's very, very rare that someone's going to go there just to be unreasonable and hog space, etc., etc. But you know, perhaps a more sort of a better answer that you might be looking for is like, well, we'll put more machines in then, you know. Occasionally, you know, you have it's either 2 or 3 third strike boards, so you'll never, you know, the odds are. They're also a very sort of, you know, welcoming community. Obviously, it's quite a niche, being one of the older Street Fighters now. They're very encouraging of getting people to sort of, you know, to play their game, etc. They're reasonable. I don't think you're going to really, you know, get to a point where you're like, I'm not getting to play any games. You'll be fine, I promise. Come and speak to me if you know, if otherwise. Okay, Martin Smith, thank you for doing this, and thank you, Martin Smith, for saying so. Appreciated. Daryl, where's my AES memory card, brother? Top stuff though. I'll catch up with you soon. Call me pendejo. You're the pendejo. Matt Aiken, any chance of newer arcades machines to pinball machines? Yeah, the thing with newer arcades is there are a lot of issues. Not least of all the cost of them, but there's also you know, problems with region. A lot of games these days are not made to exist or work outside of Asia. Wherever possible, you know, we'll find ways around that. You know, there are instances of companies such as Konami allowing some of their rhythm games to work outside of Asian territories. Anything's possible, you know. You give us enough suggestions, give us enough of a push, we'll approach the people and see what we can do. Any chance of newer and pinball machines? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Ask me again in a few months, which I guess means yes, there is a chance. Sorry. Alex Walnut, any chance of getting the Tekken 7 machine? We will have Tekken 7 running in arcade cabinets. Absolutely, you know, that's going to be a big game. It already is, you know. We have the machines designed that were running Street Fighter 5 before. We can run them with Tekken 7. Counts on it. Also, as a side note, what are the things you miss and the things you don't miss? Okay, well, I don't miss. I mean, I miss the times and the people. And then obviously the games, you know, in that order. I think the social aspect of it for me was a lot more important than the games. Most of those games I was kind of there when they were released a long time ago. I've enjoyed them as games, but yeah, for me it was definitely the people. That for me is really the driving force to get this going again. I want to see all those faces, you know, your lovely faces. I want to have jokes. I want to have fun times. You know, that's me. What do I not miss? I don't miss the horrid inability to be able to control the temperature in that place. That's what I don't miss. Will there be shower facilities for the rhythm gamers like at the old hog? Oh. Does anywhere else have them? Richard Lind, since leaving the old venue. Great news about the internet and love the PC idea from your video. Great to see you and Hog are coming back. Is there parking nearby, especially overnight? Not sure how close it is. Central London. Okay, so there is a shopping centre where you can park. You know, you will have to pay. This is a problem, as we basically get closer and closer to the West End, this, you know, in turn, things like parking spaces either become less frequent or more expensive. My advice when coming into London, especially Zone 1 and 2, is always to grab a train. Okay? I'm 42, would I be out of place there? Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. I'm only a few years. Sorry, my PC screen's gone blue, turning into a big fat smurf. There we go. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be out of place at all. I mean, I've opened the front doors before to find a load of suited up businessmen in their late 50s. You know, hello boy, come down because we heard you got a Donkey Kong machine, you know, and me and the lads you know, we're just after you know, looking to jump over a few barrels, you know. So yeah, at 42, no, there's already people older than you there. The whole idea of the Hog is that, you know, it has games from different periods of time so that there is in effect something for everyone. If you played games before, then no, you wouldn't be out of place there at all. And it's never too late to start. As Daryl says, no. In terms of fight sticks, do you have adapters or sticks on site? Okay, so what I basically did initially, obviously to be cost effective, I ordered what are they called, the Brook PCBs, the ones you update, and I installed them in the existing PlayStation 3 sticks. They work fine, they're recognised by Evo. I don't think you're going to have any problem with them at all. Thanks.